everybody. Oof, back to running the series. We're going to run the series the whole way through today, right? Me and Evelyn are going to start to run it hopefully once or twice or 3 times a week maybe. Woo-hoo. So stick around because things are going to start to get good here. You know, it's been a little sporadic lately. So I lay all the way down on the floor. Remember, I like to do my series and kind of format it the way that I was trained to do it, the way that I came up with, actually. I'm going to pick my chin up into my chest and keep my shoulders relaxed. Now, this is not good for the neck, right, anymore, because many of us already do this in our daily lives. So it's actually better now to keep your head down, one leg up. But I have a little ponytail that I can keep my head kind of a little bit elevated off the floor because I do have neck shear. Remember, it's about your back being flat on the floor. It's not about how you work your core. He called it powerhouse. Sorry, no lecture stick. All right, one leg up, one leg up. Take the chin into the chest. I start up. This is how I was trained. I'll get over it. And then I'm going to inhale and pulse for 5 in, 5 out. Out. In. Out. Ha. 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 In. Out. In. Out. Ouch. Out. Ha, ha, ha. Good. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And neck. 2, 3, 4, 5. And shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 more. 2. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope that was 100. One leg down, controlled. Feeling a warm chest. Obviously, have engagement. Now I'm going to go down here. Okay. So I'm going to do my little curlies, teaching myself right now that I'm moving from here. Deep inhale. Exhale, I first pull my abs in, then I tuck my pelvis, then I pull my booty up and try to pull it away. Do you see how I'm pulling towards you or angling there? Out, 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 out. Curl, 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 curl. Deep inhale. And then I'm going to curl more, and then curl down and pull it away. Hopefully you can really see the articulation in my spine all the way down. Let's try that again. Deep inhale. Exhale, ribs in, belly down. Then tuck. Then away. Pulling, pulling, long, long, long. Just keep it low though. I'm not going up to a full bridge. Curl, curl. Deep inhale again. Tuck and curl. Lowering it down. And now feeling a warmth happening down here. Making sure I don't feel it anywhere around my knees. I want a booty, booty. Deep one. More time. Exhale, tuck, curl, peel it up and reach it away. Now I'm going to push the 2 little toes down to the floor a little bit, maybe just the balls of my feet. That actually is better. And that makes my butt, make my hamstrings fire a little bit and my quads start to fire. And then maybe I can focus on getting some VMO. Ooh, even here, yeah. And then I'm going to take a long breath. And I'm going to curl and tuck and roll. Alrighty. Gonna rock it up now. Do the whole thing now. Upright. Your framing issues. Staying out of the sun because my hair. My hair's a little hot, as they say in the business. It's a little bright. Okay. Deep inhale. I'm going to keep my shoulders relaxed, and now I'm going to curl down and use gravity to make my abs work harder and lengthen all the way down, and I'm in frame with the sun. That's okay. It feels good. Oh my, that's nice. Deep inhale. Bring my chin to my chest. Now I keep my chin tucked, but I'm going to push down here, just like I did before. So I'm scooping first, and then I peel, and then I squeeze through this to get this to come up without this being involved. Good. One more time. I feel it. Exhaling all the way down, trying to pull my ribs up while I tuck my pelvis under. 2 different directions, like an elevator cable going up and down at the same time. And then one more deep inhale at the bottom here. Deep inhale in. Now we do it, of course, with the feet off the floor, which of course is very challenging. Here we go. Up, up, up. Deep inhale. If I need to, I can walk my hands, exhale down my thighs for extra support, but I really want to get my arms out of it. No shoulders. Deep inhale, chin to chest. A little rock, and then I stop my rock and pull my ribs up and lift my ribs to my thighs. Do it again. Exhale. Good. Good. Deep inhale, bring chin to chest. And we're gonna rock you little rockies in the abs. Lift, lift, lift. Whew. One more time. Exhale. Oh, that was a little sloppy. Sorry. Deep inhale, bring my chin to my chest. Little rocky up and skip it and lift and pull. This time I'm gonna hold and pull my ribs up higher for a minute. Squeeze the knees together. Oh my, and then reach out. Oh, much needed, deserved release down and forward. I drop my head. Keep my arms droopy and just simply drop over myself like a sunflower. I do not want to reach over my legs. I want to stretch the thoracic, maybe 10 to maybe right up even in some cervical neck. Remember, the stretching is also kind of what this whole thing's about. And the longer I can stay here, the more I release. And of course, that's the point, is to relax the spine and then let it elongate because gravity crushes it. I'm going to drag one arm forward just to make it a little heavier now. And I sink further. And then I drag the other arm. And then I sink further. Now I can feel one side is much tighter than the other. I'm just going to let it just be. Super good to stretch in the morning. And then, of course, stacking the spine. So I'm not going to sit up quickly. I'm going to think about my pelvis, my booty. And I'm going to think about where my hips are in retrospect to where my ribs are. I don't need to move, really. I need to think about taking my belly button and pulling it up one. And then I think about going up one more. And then I'm going up one more. Now, right about here, I'm now into my thoracic 12. And I can already feel that my back does not like the weight of my head there. So I'm going to pull my ribs up a little bit more. So that I'm taking the weight of my body off of my lumbar. There is not to be weight on my lumbar ever, because that's where it kind of lives anyways. And then lifting up. Now I'm almost in my T8. Once I get to T8, I can start to pull the shoulders back. Thoracic number vertebrae 8. 7 is where my bra is. 6, shoulder line. 5, keeping the head dropped. 4, 3, 2, and then slowly cervical. Instead of lifting my chin, you guys, I want to pull my head backwards like a crane and try to elongate my head on top of my neck, because my head is in the middle of my spine, or I should say my spine's in the middle of my head. Forgive me, dyslexia. Woo, and that feels really good. Okay, so that's the warm-up, right? Let's go. We're going to roll it back down. Let's start with, of course, the backward bicycle circle. So leg up, leg up. I'm going to slowly pedal backwards and try to keep my head down. And I don't like it, so I'm going to pop my head up again. I learned it this way, you guys, a long time ago. We did it with the head up. Inhale. Exhale. But you really want to try to keep your head down these days. It's much better for your abs. It's harder, first of all. It's better for your neck, obviously. But you have to keep doing things that make you comfortable. And for me, if I keep picking my head up every so often, I remind myself this is how it used to feel. And it's comfortable here because I've been doing it so long. And I have to now change that pattern and come down. But that's really awkward for me. Patterns are hard to break. Patterns, habits. Same thing to the brain. The brain likes what it likes. about trying to do things sometimes that challenge you, and you'll be surprised at how much your body appreciates that challenge, because your mind suddenly has to activate and it likes being involved in your life. 2 more. And around, and 1 more. And then I'm going to take a minute, then I'm going to put the feet down. And put my head back down. Good. Let's go to the scissors. Remember, I've modified extraordinarily. Instead of making it rigid with lots of pointed toes and lots of quick, I move slowly, low and slow is my format in Pilates. And again, he did it a little rough, so I've taken it even 1 step further down and easier to do, okay? I want you to be able to do it. So I keep my head down for this one. It feels really good, actually. And then 1 leg up and 1 leg up. Now remember, some of us do not have looseness in the hamstring, so if the legs can only go up this high and keep this bent, I don't care. I can reach my legs up much higher. Flexibility is from Pilates, not from dance or ballet or gymnastics or any of the crazy formats that I have done physicality-wise, which actually made me a little tighter. And I'm going to inhale and try to move my legs really slowly up above me. And how small can I make that? Not big. How small? It's heavier and it's harder. And again, if your knees are here, just try to move your legs as if they're 2 like sticks. Think about how to hold your butt down, but for me, I do not like that position, and I like it straight because it feels a little lighter on my spine. Again, we get flexible. The more we do, the more flexible we have, the more we can feel good. 2 more scissors. I'm going to reach them up, and then I'm going to bend them down, and release. Alrighty. After, of course, the scissors comes the crisscross. So we come back up. Now this, of course, is putting the backward bicycles in and then adding some upper torso. They did this a lot in regular exercise, and we used to do a lot of rocketing. You want to do it really slowly. And for me and my training in Pilates is to hold your back flat and then try to move things around that flatness. So I'm going to start with my backward bicycle, keeping my neck loose. And then I'm going to slowly try to reach 1 elbow to the floor. And then I'm going to slowly tip my whole upper torso while I'm still bicycling. You don't need to be coordinated. In fact, if you can make them uncoordinated, it gets harder. Because I'm just tipping my upper torso while my lower torso is working in a lateral, which makes the abs work in 2 different directions. So good. 1 more. Ooh, the shake. And then the chin is in, and the feet come down. Alrighty. That's a good one. Okay, now here's a really nice and relaxing one, is leg circles. What I get to do is hold 1 leg in hook line, which is bent. That's helped me stabilizing. And then I'm going to start with my left leg up to the ceiling. Now, again, he did it quite dramatically. And you're supposed to do it with your legs straight. And you're supposed to try to hold your abs still. Now, that's okay. But for me, I want you to learn how to hold it still and then move. So I'm going to hold it still. I'm going to inhale my leg around a little clock up there to 6. Exhale back up to 12. Inhale, big circle in, 6 seconds maybe. And then around. So you learn how that breath can really help the exercise. And then I circle. And then around, and I start to really feel that breath helping me release. 2 more. And last one is stretching. go the other way. Inhale out. Circle around. And I'm really feeling it all around my pelvis area and my thigh now, this thigh. Because my leg is doing all the work and my hips not helping at all. Oh, it's good. One more. And around. Now I'm going to hold that leg down. Breathe. And then I'm going to reach that leg longer. Extend it and stretch it. But pull the shoulders back, but pull the ribs in. Maybe get it right there. Maybe point the toe just for energy and goodness. Now, let's put the stretch in today. Let's right away do that lovely hip flexor stretch. So the leg that was just up in the sky is now going to slide underneath that other knee. And now I'm going to try to keep this knee straight up and under and try to pull this leg as much as I can underneath this left side alignment. Open up down here. Just now I'm going to do this a little quicker than I normally would because I'm starting to realize I've got a time constraint here. Excellent. Let's do this. So here we go. Readjusting my ponytail. Leg up. Circle in first. Body likes it more. Inhale. Exhale. Harder for me. Inhale. And now I go out. Try to keep my whole upper torso loose so there's no tension, but my abs and my butt are working like crazy. And now my thigh, there goes my quad firing. Now notice I've got a little bit of interior rotation to my thigh. That I do to keep myself from trying to pull my leg out, which again is more normal for me because I'm a dancer and I move that way normally, so I keep it a little bit looser. One more time. And circle it up. And now that thigh is really cooking. And reach the leg a little longer and maybe point that toe and reach that leg longer. Extension energy out through that toe, out through that toe, out through that toe, and then bend it in. Take a second there. Give my hips a shimmy sham, and then keeping the hips square and keeping everything under. Try not to make any adjustments. I simply slide the leg under, and if I can't do it on deep on this side, I only go a little bit, and this side is much tighter for me. Trying to see where that hip is because it feels like it's way out there. It's not too bad. Keep it under that shoulder line, under the ribs, under the pelvis. And again, if you want to make it deeper, it could be good on this side real quick. I'm going to just lift my arms above my head. Open it a little further. Take the time for these stretches again. Some days will be more than other days, guys. Good. And then I'm going to slide that leg out. Right. Okay, so that was 2 leg circles. So now I'm going to do what he called corkscrews. Again, quickly and fast, and I've made them kind of fun. Loose. Holding my butt down, I'm going to circle my legs together. Around to 6, and then exhale back up to 12, but it's about holding this still, and then I'm going to go the other way. Inhale around. Exhale around. 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 One more. Around. just hold. Now maybe reach the heels away, make your legs long. And again, now those guys are really burning more. Burn the thighs, tuck the pelvis forward, scoop, scoop, and legs down. Woof. Okay, guys. So after we work those legs a little bit, now, of course, we can do our roll-ups because our abs have had a little bitty break. Nah, just a little bit. I keep my hands down along my sides. Let's see if we can do maybe 6, just 6. I take a deep inhale and bring my chin to my chest, and I keep everything else down. Deep inhale, chin to chest. Think about my abs. Loading up the energy. Exhale, squeeze the pelvis down, keep it out of my neck, pulling my neck back, and try to push my abs down without using my shoulders. Oh, and the first one is the hardest. Oof. Framing, sorry about the light here. And then I'm going to take a deep inhale, try to keep my arms down. And as I exhale, I'm going to pull my ribs up and tuck my pelvis, pull my shoulders up, tuck my rib cage, pull a little bit of the neck up, but pull the belly down at the same time, lowering one vertebrae all down. Deep inhale here. No neck, no shoulders. Keep the arms drop, scoop, heel it, neck, back, scoop, heel it. Neck. Sometimes I have to nod my head and wiggle it around, make sure your neck isn't working. Let's try to put the arms up on the way down, this one. And I'm just going to lower, scooping, reaching a little up by scooping down and reaching up and scooping down. I'm not going to put the arms in yet. Deep inhale here at the bottom. And I'm going to curve, and just loose arms. And I'm going to scoop it down, exhale. Maybe I'll try a little arm on this one. Here we go. Deep inhale, bring my arms to my ears. Now I don't want to rock them, I want to peel them and use the weight of them. I can't, my neck goes gunning in there, so I'm going to take them out again and scoop it in. I got to just take my time to get back to the advanced place. I haven't done this myself in a while. But arms up on the way down, it's going to work now. I'm getting sweaty. Big inhale, and then I exhale, and I reach up, and I squeeze down, and I reach up, and I lengthen down. Let's do just one more. Deep inhale to the chest. And then I'm going to scoop it down. Try not to let your feet cheat. Reach up. Mine were just cheating. And last one. Exhale, arms up, and release. To work out outside. He wanted us to be outside in the fresh air. Breathing in good, clean oxygen. Exhaling all that carbon dioxide. Okay, guys. So, of course, there's the side look now. I'm going to start on this side. So my head will be the camera. Now I'm going to move this whole mat back just a little bit. Let's reframe real quick. The sun is moving. Good, we stuck it. We're so good. Excellent. Let's go even more this way. There you go, children. Now you can see. Okay. Here we are. Side work. Right. Okay. Elbow. Better if I can be up on my elbow directly under my shoulder line. Now my floor has got all kinds of unfun divots, so I got to make sure I'm in a straight line, but that my hip is not going to be into those divots. Good. Now I want to keep this lifted. Some people like a foam roll under here or a ball. No toys, no props. Sometimes I just don't have it, so I'm going to learn to do lifting here and then trying to get my leg to move. I'm going to keep my neck loose. Now, if this is too much for some people, you can modify and go all the way down. However, that almost is better or harder because your abs now have even less stability to keep you upright. So, up here, I don't like the hand down. I like it up. And I'm going to lift. I can tip forward and put this hand on the floor. Inhale, leg forwards, half away, about 6 inches, and then circle around and lift. Now, notice this side. wants to go back and then circle. I'm going to hold my torso really still and force my leg to move around. 2 more, forward and lift, exhale. Woo. 1 more, forward, lift it. Good, gonna go back. And around. Good, 2 more, back is crazy. The shoulders really wanna dive forward. I'm gonna hold myself still. 1 more, hold this still. And around, and now of course the crazy is to try to do shark bites. So I'm gonna lift the top leg up and then squeeze the lower leg just a little off the floor without letting this go down. Lift, and that's crazy. 1 more, lift, and now I can reach all the way down, going right into some fun side work. Now I feel a little bit more relaxed in the upper torso, obviously, but now the legs are going to work harder, and I'm going to take the top leg up, and now I'm just going to do some shark bites. Now I can keep the hand on the floor in front of me for stability, but if I'd like, I'd love to keep it off and work this whole section trying to hold stable still. Good, 2 more. And then I'm going to squeeze both up. And then I'm going to flutter. And breathe and breathe and flutter and breathe and breathe and flutter. And then maybe just a couple of sailboats. And legs down. And down. Whew. Let's go right away to the side. So you can see me, I'm going to just flip it over. There we go. Okay. Making sure I'm in a straight line. Maybe a towel on the floor or a mat with lines on it, so you make sure that everybody is where they need to be. Many of us have no idea where that is, and it's kind of good to have like a little guide there for you. All right, so I'm lifting ribs. This side is not my good side, so that's why I didn't start on this side. And I'm going to take that top leg, go forward and up. I want to look at my leg. Inhale. We've been trained for many decades, guys, to watch what you do. I was working in fitness already when we went from a slow, small, well-lit but not reflective space to outright showcase exercise, which is now highly favored. Everybody in a big room, everybody showing off to everybody else how strong they are. Lots of mirrors so that you watch. Now, we dancers were taught to do that. That's why there are mirrors in most dance studios. We're not looking or thinking about muscularity, right? We're looking for aesthetic. We're looking for lines. We're looking for light and ease of movement. So the focus is not about exercise at that point. It is about what you look like. And there is where everything got twisted, y'all. And I'm going to do my shark bites. Exercise, when you're working hard enough, can't look good because you have to be working. It's about how you feel when you're working, and that's what's creating the good part in your brain. And I'm going to try to go a little fluttery. And then I'm going to go down and stretch it. Okay. We as a society have to get out of that mirror, guys. The irony is that there are no two mirrors that are the same. The irony is that that reflection that you're getting is not even an accurate image of what you actually look like. But we base so much of what we feel on what we see in that thing. Think about this. Top leg up. Squeeze this up. When you look at your back or rear view mirror in your car, however, or you have to do like a reverse thing where you're holding the mirror behind your head so you can blow your hair out, whatever. You don't trust that one. You do not trust looking into the mirror to look at something else because your brain doesn't understand that concept. However, most of us have grown up with mirrors, and when you look at that reflection first off, you totally believe it. Interesting how the way the eyes look at it, how your brain functions on it. You don't trust that one, but this one you give too much power. There's a conflict there. And now I'm going to flutter and breathe and maybe do some sailboats. I stopped wearing makeup about 20 years ago now. Alicia Keys, maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. Bless you, Alicia. Pamela, Andy. God bless you, Pamela Anderson. I think she did it about 7 years ago. We don't need makeup to feel good, ladies, because what it's doing is selling your face to them. You don't need them to have your face. You have your face. Please don't get me started on AI. I can't. Stay out of this political arena. And I relax. Sorry. Notice that when I start to get on a rant, I get motivated and I can actually exercise without even thinking about what I'm doing and talk to you in that angry tone. I'm sorry. I don't want to be angry when I'm exercising. It's not good for you. Okay, so of course this is a good one because I can't really talk. Swimming, face down. I'm going to flop on my belly. Now when we lay on the belly, the back normally relaxes here. You see this curve. What I want to do is always think about keeping my back, especially between my upper ribs and my butt, straighter. So I have to pull my rib cage off the floor and push my hips into the floor. And that is going to flatten my back. That takes effort, and again, my butt is now working juicy. Now, for regular swimming, you're on the floor. Even just lifting the arms up is going to be intense. He actually had us arch up. I do not believe in that anymore because we do that too much in life. So I want to tuck here and keep my back flat and long, and then I'm going to flutter my legs first. Now I've got a nice mat so I can kind of keep my head relaxed on it a little and try to keep thinking about the scoop and the butt. And then maybe lift the arms up, making sure that doesn't make my shoulders come up. And this is really good exercise. Trying to hold the abs still while I flutter kick the arms and the legs, swimming for 10 more seconds, breathing. Keep that butt down, keep those ribs up. And release. Whew. Good. One set of swimming today. Let's push right up and get into our nice little tabletops. Give me a child's pose first, please. Try to keep your knees as much underneath you as possible, but you're totally allowed to let them separate if that makes it easier to sink your hips down in between your ankles. You do not ever want to have your toes outside your legs here. That is flexion on the knees in a terrible position. Your knees are never in that position, therefore you never want them in that position in exercise, okay? That's my rule of thumb. If my legs don't need to do this in life, then I don't do it, okay? All right, so when I come up to my table, this is again preparation for the plank. Here again, we think for many of us that if you're lifting up, you're doing all of that work on your shoulders. I understand. That would make sense to the brain. But what we have to think about is pulling the ribs up like you were on your back and pulling your ribs down. And then I pull them up. Now I'm going to tuck my pelvis just a little scoop so I don't arch my back and help my back work because it wants to. And then I'm going to take one leg back, but I don't reach it behind me off of my hands. I push the thumb and the pinkies a little bit down. I lift the palms up. I take one leg back and dorsiflect the toe, but I keep it directly under me, so that's my leg line. And then I'm going to pull my ribs up more. And then I'm in a plank, and all I have to do, you guys, is move this other leg out of the way. You see? And then your body feels kind of safe there because you got up there slowly, learning how to get there. I keep pulling my shoulders apart. I keep tucking and squeezing and lifting. Give it a couple more seconds. Keep lifting. Be careful those elbows twisting and locking. You want to keep those elbows micro bent with that little elbow butt out, 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 out. Over, over, and then one knee down with control. One knee down with control. And then, of course, reaching the arms out to do a child's pose like my dog does it, where I sit back on my haunches and then slowly drag myself all the way down, getting my shoulders a little release. gosh, I think we're towards the end. We now do the full bridge. Okay, let's do it. Here we are. So I lay back down. Now, you've been on your side, you've been face down, we're back on our backs. So give yourself a moment to readjust that. Now this time we do go up to a straight line, so it's going to take a little bit more effort on you. Take a deep inhale, knees directly underneath the hip line, ankles like a little mountain. Don't want them very close to your butt there. Nice mountain. Deep inhale. Exhale, scoop the pelvis, so look at me cheat. Tuck and breathe. It's been a while and I just cheated and moved my feet closer to me. I'm pulling away again. Even the teacher can cheat. So remember, we're not all perfect all the time. And even after all these years, my brain says, it's been a long, long time and you're not in shape as you used to be. That is true. I'm going to just do my best. That's all I can do. Hard again, even for me, to not compare with where I was just 8 months ago. It's okay. I've been working hard. So it's okay to be where I am right now because I love me. And I'm going to take a deep inhale and tuck my pelvis higher and then try to pull my pelvis all the way down. Exhale. And be good to myself and say nice things and not negative. Let's try that again. Deep inhale. No fear. Scoop, heel, tuck, reach, lift, up. Remember, I'm trying to pull my head kind of into the floor with my shoulders. But I'm trying to lengthen my rib cage, and how far up can I tuck and get a very straight line between my shoulder blades and my knees. Quads are firing, butt is screaming, pushing the 2 first toes down. Deep inhale. And then I want to roll down, tuck, curl, roll. One more time, here we go. Deep inhale. Exhale. Curl, tuck, heel. Now my right calf is trying to work. I'm not going to let it. I'm going to keep it loose. I'm going to keep squeezing my right cheek even harder now. Keep reaching. Pulling. Pull, pull, pull. Now I'm going to squeeze my left ass cheek harder and try to take my right foot off the floor for a second. Love it, love it. And then put that foot down. Now readjust. Make sure everybody's back to where they need to be. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a deep inhale. Take it up into the left leg. Right leg takes it. Ooh, I sunk down a little bit. That's okay. I'm doing my best. Take a deep inhale. Curl, tuck, heel, roll, lengthen. Exhale. Breathing. Extend the legs. Reach the legs long. Take a minute.